Guest involvement. Guest involvement leads to their co-creating the value and quality of that experience if guests are involved. A guest can be involved with a hospitality organization in several ways, as a consultant or source of expertise and quality information, as a marketer, as a part of the environment of other guests, as a co-producer of that experience, or as a manager of the service provides and systems. Guest involvement refers to actively engaging and including guests in various aspects of an event, experience, or process. It encompasses anything from inviting participation in activities, seeking feedback, encouraging interaction, or providing opportunities for guests to contribute in meaningful ways. Essentially, it's about making guests feel connected, valued, and part of the event or experience rather than mere spectators. Here are several ways to involve guests. First, interactive activities. Games, quizzes, or challenges that encourage participation. Second, live polls and Q&A sessions, engaging guests in real-time discussions or feedback sessions. Third, hands-on workshops or demos, offering workshops or demonstrations where guests can actively participate. Next, surveys or feedback forms, seeking opinions and feedback post-event to involve guests in shaping future experiences. Next, social media engagement, encouraging guests to share experience, thoughts, or photos on social media platforms using specific event hashtags. Next, collaborative projects involving guests in collective project or initiative during the event. Last, interactive technology, utilizing apps or technology tools for interactive experience like AR or VR, live streaming, or interactive displays. These methods aim to create active participation and enhance the overall guest experience.
Good day, this is Crystal Bombeo, and our topic for today is all about involving the guest, the co-creation of value. Guest involvement leads to the co-creation of value and quality of that experience. In the traditional firm-centric view of organization, management decides what the guests want and designs a delivery system to provide it. The guest-centric view is that the guest ecologist seeks to identify what the customers want and involves them in the co-creation of the experience before, during, or after the actual experience itself. So we need to follow the guest instructions or what the guest like. And ang guest-centric view is the guest ecologist na nagtukoy kung ano yung gusto ng customer, and they include the co-creation, the experience, or after sa actual na experience. So guest involvement leads to their co-creation, the value and quality of that experience. If the guests are involved in the design or the experience through focus groups or by providing feedback of their prior experiences, they have the opportunity to co-create the experience before it happens. For example, a prepared meal franchise will offer BC. So this is a big help to the business, no? Okay. In that case, they give feedback about their experience, and it helps to the other customers about or what they invest as business. In the traditional manufacturing organization, the people involved in the core production task are insulated from external interruptions by layers of strategic planners and middle managers. The people providing many hospitality services, in contrast, are right out in the open where the guests care and even interact with them. So we all know that nowadays in this modern generation, high-tech na jud siya. So because we can say na pwede di ay ang self-service check-in or for booking or etc. In many circumstances, the guests will take the primary role in co-producing the service themselves. Obvious examples are salad bars in restaurants and self-service check-ins at airports. Other obvious examples are the growing number of self-service technologies like web-based restaurant, airline, and hotel reservation sites. So kay high-tech naman ta karon na days, In this modern generation, daghan na pud ang bilang sa teknolohiya like self-service tulad ng web-based sa restaurant, airline, and the sites and mga sites nga nagpapareserba ng sa hotel, no, kay mo man dyan na to ang kay hotel industry. So, the people providing mini hospitality service, in contrast, are right out in the open where the guest can see and even interact with them. The guest will take the primary role in the co-producing the service themselves and the service them for among us. So that's all for today's. Thank you.
Make sure that guests know exactly what you expect them to do and that they are physically able, mentally prepared, and sufficiently skilled to do those tasks. Show guests that performing the task is to their benefit. Give them a reason to do the task well. Guest participation can be used as a product differentiation strategy by organization like Cook Your Own Restaurant, which offer a social experience and make reservation for group. Other examples include self-service gas station, car rental agencies, cafeteria, and banking service. Boston Market, for example, offer a take-home product without delivery service, distinguishing itself from a quick-serve drive-through and home delivery restaurant. This guest participation strategy positioned Boston Market as a quick and convenient stop for busy people. Building commitment. Guest experience foster commitment, repeat business and trust with loyalty program like frequent flyer and frequent guests, ensuring repeat visit and recognizing the lifetime value of loyal repeat customers. The bottom line, cost versus benefit. Conduct a cost benefit analysis to determine when to offer guest participation, ensuring benefit outweigh costs such as extra training, equipment, and user-friendly service delivery system. Guests as unpaid consultants. Guests serve as unpaid consultants and a quality control inspector in hospitality organization, helping management adjust product and environment through feedback gathering and focus group participation. Guests as part of each other experience. The service environment and product of water parks often involve guests enjoying each other's company, but the distinction between these two is not always clear. Guests as co-producer. Guests can enhance their experience by actively participating in the production and delivery system, which can be costly by significantly improves the quality and value for the guest experience. There are two advantages of co-production for the organization. First, co-production may reduce employee costs. Second, co-production allows the organization to use the talent of its employees better. There are three advantages of co-production for the guests. First, it can decrease the opportunity for service failure while increasing the perception and perhaps the actuality of service quality. Second, the opportunity for self-service typically reduces the time required for service. Third, self-service reduces the risk of unpleasant surprise for guests. There are two disadvantages of co-production for the organization. First, in this litigious society, participation exposes the organization to legal risk. Second, the organization may have to spend extra money to train the customer contact employees so that they can add to their usual serving jobs the task of both recognizing when guests are ready to co-produce and when they are not, and then communicating effectively and easily about what guests are supposed to do. The two disadvantages of co-production for the guests. First, the most obvious one is that paying guests may resent having to produce any part of that for which they are paying. Two, guests may fail to produce the service properly. The high cost of failure. Unsatisfactory co-production can lead to significant cost, humiliation, and legal issue for restaurant and hospitality organization. Organization must intervene tactfully and ensure guest satisfaction to prevent failure.
Criteria to be assessed for guest participation. When assessing guest participation, especially in the context of events, programs, or collaboration, various criteria can be considered to evaluate their involvement and contribution. The specific criteria may vary depending on the nature of event or collaboration, but here are some common factors to consider. So we have here relevance, expertise and credibility, engagement potential, audience appeal, availability and commitment, networking opportunities, previous experience, innovation and fresh perspective, logistic and practical considerations, promotional value, collaborative spirit, post event contribution. The first one is relevance. How closely aligned is the guest's expertise, experience, or background with the purpose of theme of the event or collaboration? Next, we have expertise and credibility. Does the guest have a strong reputation and credibility in their field? Consider their achievements, qualifications, and influence. Next is engagement potential. Will the guest be able to engage the audience effectively? This could include factors like communication skills, ability to connect with the audience, and a dynamic presentation style. Next, audience appeal. How well does the guest resonate with the target audience? Consider demographics, interests, and preference of the audience. Next, we have availability and commitment. Is the guest available and willing to commit to the event or collaboration? Confirming their availability and commitment in advance is crucial for successful participation. Next is networking opportunities. Assess the potential for the guest to contribute to networking opportunities. Will their presence enhance the overall networking experience for participants? Next, previous experience. Consider the guest's track record in similar events or collaborations. Have they been successful in the past and do they have positive feedback from previous engagements? Next, we have innovation and fresh perspective. Does the guest bring a unique or fresh perspective to the table? Consider whether their participation adds value in terms of new ideas, insights, or approaches. Next, logistics and practical consideration. Evaluate the logistical aspects of the guest participations, such as travel arrangements, accommodation, and any other practical considerations. Ensure that these logistics align with the plan for the events or collaborations. Next is promotional value. Consider the promotional value that the guest brings. Will their participation attract attention, generate interest, or contribute to the overall marketing and promotion of the event or collaboration? Next, collaborative spirit. Assess the guest's willingness to collaborate and work effectively with other participants or contributors. A positive and collaborative attitude can enhance the overall success of the initiative. Lastly, post-event contribution. Consider whether the guest involvement extends beyond the event itself. Will they contribute to follow-up activities, discussions, or content creation?
Firing the guest. In a sense, all guests co-produce or have potential to co-produce the hospitality experience for others, simply by being in each other's company. If a well-mannered, well-dressed guest sit quietly and passively within the service setting, that guest may be no more than a minor enhancement, an adornment to the experience of other guests. Unfortunately, despite the old saying that the customer is always right, all organizations know that the customer is sometimes wrong. By any reasonable standard, certain extreme behaviors are unacceptable in any hospitality setting. Guests are get drunk, become verbally and physically abusive, refuse to comply with reasonable organization, rules, and policies, and make outrageous demands. Not all employees work out. Not all guests work out. Sometimes the guest job performance as a co-producing quasi-employee is so unsatisfactory that the organization must, a last resort, and employing clearly defined procedures, fire the guest. For example, if a client is rude to the phone to employees of Rosenblatt Travel, Hi Rosenblatt asked the client to find another agency, says Rosenblatt, I think it's terrible to ask one of associates to talk with someone who's rude to them every 15 minutes. Although the firing of a guest is a response to a guest failure to some kind, the guest is intoxicated. This situation, all guests should be fired, even those who accompany the guest. When the hospitality organization asks its guests what they like or dislike about the guest experience, they become unpaid consultant. When customers are wrong, there is no real reason to pretend that they are right. It's an unproductive waste of time. Not every client will serve you, and that's okay. Firing a toxic client is a big business decision to make. Ultimately, you want to think about the good for your business and mental well-being. Both are important. During the hospitality experience, management can use a variety of strategies to engage the guest in the co-production of that experience so that they co-create quality and value. This chapter focuses on strategy that management can use to engage its guests in co-creating value after the experience. For example, customer satisfaction surveys to pinpoint service failures and follow up on errors. Noted, management strategies Rahamad and Ramaswamy suggested that a customer co-creation of value is predicated on the rapid change in technology that allows today's customers to know more, share more, compare more, and about their experience than ever before. As a result, customers can learn what organizations are really doing in dealing with their guests by talking to others on social networks or information, sharing websites, what they should pay by visiting auction websites, and what the quality and value of the service product is. The web gives guests the opportunity to interact directly with the hospitality organization and what guests really wants. It is up to the organization to find ways to listen, and guestologists always find way. The point is that today's guests expect to co-produce the experience and co-create its value and quality in some way. An hospitality organization need to find a means to fulfill that expectation.